Hey, anyways, I had to take a little break there. Back to what I was saying about the heartbreak. Oh, it's really there, and I've seen it so much. Seen a lot of people splitting up lately. I've also seen a lot of people in relationships they couldn't leave lately. Now, that is another very common problem. Oh, jeez. Yeah, sorry about that. Head's itching. I always get tingly when I'm doing this stuff. But that's the other thing is with twin flames, they can't get out of it. They can't stop. You know, they continue to go back over and over again, no matter how bad they're treated. For that one moment, they felt that feeling, and it's a constant battle to feel that again. Now, the reason I believe for this is you increased your vibration. Okay, you connected with that person on a whole different level. Oh, jeez. I got some funny hair now like that. But you connected with that person on a whole different level. All right? A whole different parallel, a higher, more spiritual place. That does not mean that the body or the personality that that person possesses in this particular reality is going to be complementary to you or your life or enriching. Now, in one way or another, yes. Because it happened, you met this person. I mean, like I've said before, I believe we set this all up, you know, in our higher beings. I think it's all written in the Akasha, you know. I mean, we're way more than what we think. And as far as connecting with our twin flames in this reality, in this consciousness, we have to be somewhat careful. A successful connection with the twin flame well, actually, just about every connection with the twin flame will be somewhat successful. Okay? Because it's may teach us something. It will teach us more about love. We seek that feeling, that person, that connectedness, that completion when we connect with that person, because it brings us to a higher level and we remember what it feels like to remember. We remember what it feels like to be out of our bodies. We remember what it feels like to feel pure love. in the pure essence of another person, and a life force that flows through two people at one time. We remember. And it's a craving. And before we realize it, we have many broken hearts. But it isn't that we realize that. What we're realizing is that is something that we have to find within ourselves. We have to be able to reach that higher place without our twin flame in this reality sometimes. Trying to stay connected to a twin flame that is vibrating at a negative frequency or contraindicates your healing, which is what we're trying to do here. You know, I can go on in a whole bunch of metaphysical blah blah, but you know, we're talking about just layman's terms. If we want to talk about that, I mean, they used to say, oh, we only use 10% of our brain or whatever. What they really want to say is that we're only using a certain amount of our DNA because the rest is disconnected, and actually looks like it's been like severed, which would is another topic. You know, one I would really love to talk about because I like it a lot. But our DNA feels connected, okay, when we connect with that person. Because there's more light, because we're a twin flame, because their essence and what they're holding in their physical being here, although they are what we expect them to be and what we imagine they should be. I mean, without knowing that we create this, we set it up, and we're creating it again. We're not so if we do set this up, which I believe that we do, why in the world would we send some of these people to ourselves? Well, if we're thinking along the lines of manifestation and how our thoughts and what happens because of what we perceive and what we've experienced and what we believe it is. It would stand to reason that we don't think that we're worth, I'm going to say it, we don't think we deserve any better than that. You know, and if you're in an abusive relationship with your twin flame, which most people are, the first one, the first real heartbreak, I don't mean abusive, but I mean painful. Okay, painful in that way. A lot of them are abusive, though. A lot of them, we take a lot of abuse before we can pull away from it and raise our vibration. some of them, some relationships are so, we lose ourself right in it. You know? And some of us do that for a while, and some of us do it our whole life. Why would we pick a life like that? I don't know, maybe last time, or maybe in a parallel reality, we're a complete narcissist. We don't give a shit about anyone. We're a womanizer. We're a pig. Like, we might be Donald Trump, for God's sake. I don't know. But that's what they're here for. They're here so we figure that out. So we figure out how to love right. So we learn how to accept change. Not every change is loss. And not every loss is bad. It may feel pretty bad, and you can feel bad. You're going to miss that person. But when you realize that your light can shine just as bright as both of your lights together, you'll be ready maybe to see that flame again. You might be in a completely different person. A more advanced person. Or more vibrationally compatible person. The problem is when we leave these relationships, when we finally find it within ourselves to leave, or in a lot of cases, we're forced. We're forced to make some pretty hard decisions. Sometimes we leave the person 10 or 15 times and keep going back because you can't say no to them. It's like saying no to yourself. The worst part of yourself sometimes. The part of yourself you don't really want to have to face. The part of yourself you don't want to say no to. The part of that person you've convinced that you're in love with. Because you've experienced love together at one time does not mean that you're guaranteed to remain in that. Okay? This society has got love and sex so intertwined, it's ridiculous. They have nothing to do with each other, except that sex is a really good feeling that can be enjoyed with someone that you're in love with. It doesn't, or someone you're not in love with. I mean, really, the expectations have been set up for us. Okay? To expect more than that. To expect a promise. To expect a phone call tomorrow. To expect whatever. You don't even, standards. Oh, you should only be with this person. You should only do this. If if that's the relationship you want to set up with that person, that's cool. But you know what? You gotta realize change happens. Even twin souls that get along the most, remain best friends, whatever it may be. We're romantic and then aren't any, whatever it may be. Things change. You choose love. It's a decision. Is it a feeling? It's an energy. Okay? It's a universal energy that is available to everyone. Not that I'm saying that you definitely want to be, you know, that kind of love with everyone. But the more love that you can radiate from yourself, and maintain it, the more likely you are going to draw the same type of people towards you. Problems with twin flames, they get together and they cannot separate, no matter how bad it is. They spend every minute with each other. They turn their backs sometimes on their family, their friends. Everybody says, oh, you're being abused, this person treats you bad, there's jealousy, there's all these things that are just, wow, constant stress, constant strain, and expectations, and criticisms, and disappointments, and despair, and depression, and abuse. We have a choice every day, every minute, every moment. We have a choice. I could shut this thing off right now. I got a choice. Change is hard. Choices are hard. Procrastination is harder. Prevention is worth prevention is worth an ounce of cure, or a pinch of prevention is worth an ounce of cure. That's one. If you're just getting out of a relationship, or you're thinking about getting into one, if you've had an experience with someone like this and you feel like you're just going out of your mind in love with this person, and you just can't imagine, and so they did just get out of prison. They've been in there for, yeah, they've been there 3 times, but, well, they used to beat their ex-wives, but, she was a real bitch. And, red flags, honey, red flags, Don't let it happen for a minute. Don't get yourself trapped again. If you have moved forward past a toxic twin flame relationship, keep going. That person starts reminding you of so-and-so right away, step away. You don't owe them. You don't owe people because you care about them for a minute, a day, at a distance, whatever. Because you date someone, because you have sex, you don't owe this person. Don't get back into that. If you met this person, they seem all great, and then they walk through and they kick your dog, and you say, hey, don't kick my dog, and say, oh, I'm sorry. I'll never kick your dog again. Are you really going to believe that they're never going to kick your fucking dog if you ain't there? If you see somebody's true colors bleeding through, stop it right now. Stop it. You don't want this again. You don't want it at all if it's like that. If you gotta say something different than what you would normally say, ask permission for anything. Man, this is your life. I mean, consideration. Yeah, hey, you know, I'm going to go somewhere, whatever, you know. I'll be back. Try to be considerate. But can I go somewhere? Okay? You don't own people. People don't own people. I mean, this has been going on for fucking... People do not own other people. If you have to ask permission for any damn thing, you are not a free person. Oh, America, we're free here. Fucking bullshit, man. That's bullshit. I don't know who you... Maybe if you're a billionaire, you're free. You know where we can be free? Right here. That's about it. Yeah. Because you gotta behave. You know, you gotta at least not draw a huge amount of attention to yourself, or they'll just offer your ass here. Because there's a lot of dark out there. There's a lot of people that aren't really here for our benefit. Sometimes our twin flames over there. You know? It doesn't matter. We could be the best person we know how to be here. And our complete opposite is the worst person that we could ever imagine. It's like Mother Teresa and Jeffrey Dahmer, they can't exist without each other. And you wonder why that is? That sounds kind of weird, don't it? I say it's that way, that's why. But really, there's a complete and opposite reaction to every action. Complete polarity. And our twin flames sometimes bring that polarity together for a moment. This thing's went on for a minute now, let me tell you. So, I probably really should be wrapping it up. I'm going to talk some more about twin flames, and I really encourage anybody that wants to write to me or ask me some questions. I mean, I would love to get on here and answer some questions and see if, you know, maybe you could give me some of your input. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or what your theory is on some of this. I don't want to go on too much longer. It looks like I about killed my phone here. My camera went down a little bit, but I just want to say that our twin flames are out there. They're here for our betterment. Sometimes we're lucky enough to find them on our own level. I'm not trying to discourage love. I'm not trying to discourage a twin flame union. But I am trying to encourage you to look at how that person can raise you to a higher place, or how that person moves you to that place. But you remain there whether they're there or not. That's the thing. They have to enrich you. And for a minute, it's really awesome because you can experience that. And if you can experience that, that's wonderful. Don't attach the dogma to it. Enjoy each other, you know? Don't jump in with big promises. If you see something in their character that you do not agree with, say something immediately. So what if they get mad? Let them walk.